Guys, I finally got a van and I need your help to convert it into a dog-friendly, adventurous day van, camper van, everything van kind of thing. Not physical help unless you really want to drive over here and do it with me. What I'm looking for are your suggestions, your ideas, your experience and expertise. Before I get into what I need it to do, let's take a look at the van. This is a Mercedes Vito 2.7 TDCI ABCD EFG HIJK etc. It's on an 03 plate and it's a short wheelbase. There are a few really important deciding factors when we bought this van. The first one was that it fell into budget. This is our kind of second vehicle. We didn't want a pristine van that we're going to worry about. You know, we're going to throw wet and muddy dogs in the back. But we had to have a van that's reliable, and that brings me nicely on to the fact that it's a Mercedes. I do like Mercedes vehicles. I've driven them many times before, and it's an awesome driving experience. And generally, they are reliable. And this maroony kind of colour probably isn't the prettiest and not to everybody's taste, but it is kind of obscure. And with some of the stuff that I want to do, obscurity could be quite useful. Probably one of the most important factors, if not the most important deciding factor, is that it does actually fit on the driveway. We've got an okay kind of size parking area on the driveway. You could fit 3, maybe 4 cars with some careful packing, but we're on a narrow lane, the entrance is really tight, and if we had a bigger van, it probably wouldn't fit. So to summarise, the colour's not to everybody's taste, the paintwork is a bit dulled, it's a bit tatty in places on the bodywork, but the engine's good, it drives well, and it fits on the drive. So let's take a proper look inside. So going into the cab is pretty straightforward. There's a single driver's seat. It's got a bit of damage, but you do get that on vans. And a double passenger seat, which is really useful because when I travel with Ida the Labrador, she normally travels up front with me harnessed into the seat. It's got quite deep pockets on both doors. And the glove box is actually quite huge. So in the back, it's got twin loading side doors, one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side, and a lifting rear tailgate, which with a bit of ingenuity and inventiveness could be used to kind of extend the living space. Watch this space, I'll fill you in. The actual size of usable space in the back, it's what's that, 247 centimetres, just over 8 foot long, and around 128 centimetres width between the wheel arches, so you've got a little bit more to play with, but not much because you've got the wheel arch itself and then the steps. And the height from floor to the actual roof as is 140 centimetres. The people that had it before me had a mountain bike company, so they used it to transport bikes and kit, and when they went away to shows, they did actually sleep in this thing. And they did start to make it a bit more comfortable than just being a bare panel van. They insulated the floor and covered it with this durable Ultra flooring. The sides of the van, including the sliding doors, have been sound deadened, insulated and coated with this grey carpet stuff. I say stuff a lot, it's kind of a general coverall for technical stuff that I've got no idea what the actual technical term is. But they didn't get around to doing the tailgate or the roof. With both the tailgate and the roof, I'm probably going to go for some kind of thin insulation stuck on with self-adhesive spray, you know what I mean, and then finish it with tongue and groove cladding. Now, before I tell you my ideas for the van and ask you for yours, I guess I need to tell you what I want to achieve, what I want it to do, which is basically everything. I wanted this van to be kind of our second vehicle, and as well as being a second vehicle, a second pair of wheels, it's also got to be our dogmobile, it's got to be our kind of adventure van, our kit-carrying, kit-lugging mule, it's got to be our mobile kitchen when we go off to visit friends in wild places, it's got to be our camper van when we go to visit friends or family, my base when I go away to work, my mobile fishing lodge, my animal hide for when I'm going off to watch animals, birds. It's got to do literally everything. However, although this van's got to do anything and be everything, there are quite a few constraints. Well, not that many, but a few. The first constraint worth mentioning, and probably the only one really, is that this is quite a small van. The last van that I converted was a Renault Master, medium wheelbase, high top. When I say the last one, that was also the first one. And it came out quite successful. But because of the size, we didn't really need to worry about the space inside. You know, we could have a permanent bed fixed and still chuck in as much gear as I wanted. But this Vito is a lot more restricted on size, so I've got to be a bit inventive, a bit innovative, with different solutions that are scalable and maybe retractable, if that's a word. It is a word, but whether it's the word I should be using, I don't know. To give me maximum use of the space. So what's this space actually really going to be used for? I've got quite an active and adventurous outdoor life, and at the centre of that are my 4 dogs. They don't always come with me all at the same time, but when they do, I need a safe, secure space for them. Then I need to carry my outdoor kit, from kayaks on the roof to inflatable paddleboards, paddles, lots of rucksacks, cooking kit, camping kit, you name it, I need to carry it in here. Then there's the whole kind of sleeping in the van thing. From time to time I do go away, and sometimes we go away together to visit friends, to visit family, and often I go away to work and I'll sleep in the van. Now, for a sleeping solution, I did go into a well-known outdoor shop and pick up one of these camp cot things. I can see the appeal to them, and although I'm not the tallest person in the world by a long way, I am quite broad, and I've got 2 totally knackered shoulders from a lifetime of use and abuse, so I toss and turn a lot, and the camping cot just didn't give me the opportunity to sleep well. In fact, I didn't sleep at all. It's got a bit darker, I've had to shut the door, it started to rain. Life in Wales. So because the cot didn't work out, I'm thinking maybe some kind of bed construction thing going on. This is where I started to throw out some of my ideas, so take a listen, and if you want to criticise, if you want to challenge, you know, rip my ideas apart. But if you have an opportunity to give me some ideas or solutions, suggestions, then please do. But before I go into that, there are just 1 or 2 extra points to throw in. Firstly, I need maximum flexibility and versatility, so I can pretty much do whatever I need to do with the van. Secondly is my level of technical ineptness. I can drive vehicles pretty well. I've been trained to drive vehicles pretty well, but once I step beyond the cockpit, I'm absolutely clueless. And when it comes to anything kind of DIY related, I really struggle with which end of a hammer to nail a screw in with. And lastly, but very importantly, it's got to be done on a budget. You know, I'm not going to throw loads of money at this. I don't want to end up with a vehicle where the interior of the van is worth more than the vehicle itself. The first idea I had, I actually saw on a YouTube van conversion video. This guy had built a wooden pallet wall going kind of up from about here, from the floor to the ceiling, inside the driver's side loading door. On the outside, it gave a narrow storage space where he had placed coat hooks, a little welly rack, that kind of stuff. And then on the inside of the van, he had a flip down shelf, a shaving mirror, and I can't remember what else, but it gave that kind of space where you could easily attach things to it. I guess one of the questions is, if I decide to do that, apart from how do I attach it everywhere, is would I regret shutting off one of the side loading doors? Now, the last van I had only had a side loading door on the passenger side, and that worked well enough, because when you pull in, you kind of pull in on the left, so the door on the left makes sense. And having fast access to coats and stuff behind the driver's seat, that kind of makes sense too. So maybe I'll run with that. What do you think? As I said just now, on the tailgate and the roof, I'll sound deaden the panels, I'll insulate the panels with some kind of thin insulation, and then I will tongue and groove it with cladding. Believe it or not, it's a really weird thing, but I inherited a whole stack of very thin pine tongue and groove cladding a couple of years ago. So I've got it, it's in the workshop, I might as well just use that. Now, to get a bit of privacy and darkness when I need it, just here I'm going to attach some kind of curtain pole and stretch it across, and then use, I don't know, a blackout curtain or some kind of material to give me privacy and darkness. Now, in the last van, for this curtain rail, I used an old ski pole, and I actually even made kind of a semi bulkhead, a small bulkhead, out of old skis that I got from the tip. And the ski bindings turned into kind of coat hangers or kit hangers. They were brilliant. Now, for the bed itself, I'm thinking of creating, making, building, bodging one of those, I don't know what they're called, kind of a pull-out slatted construction. The slats would be bits of pallet, and the actual constructed box would be whatever I need to buy, I guess, to make it. That would then give me a 6 foot long bed. Not that I necessarily need a 6 foot long bed, but you never know, I might be feeling tall one day. And a little bit of storage underneath that would be accessible from the back. On the note of storage at the back, if this thing's accessible from the back, right, so when it's closed up, it's a seat by day, and you pull it out to have your 6 foot long bed at night. If I made a kind of headboard that fitted up against the back, that would be the kind of sofa back by day and the headboard at night. But then if I lift the tailgate up, this is where I'm trying to be clever, and probably me trying to be clever isn't going to work with my capabilities of DIY. If I lift the table up, could I have that kind of headboard on a chains that drop down to the back with a little extendable leg thing or adjustable leg that fits underneath to create a table or work surface behind the van, so when I want to cook, I don't have to cook inside the van, I can cook outside the van. If I want dinner outside, I can do it, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm going to look it up on YouTube. If you know a video, drop a link. Oh, and the bed would have to be removable so that I can use the van for other stuff. So I'm thinking if it's going to be slatted and pull apart anyway, 2 parts or maybe even 3 parts, 3 parts could be, that can be easily lifted out. I can store it in the garage and crack on and use the van for other stuff. But here's a question that I just can't get my head around, right? If I make a bed that fits between the wheel arches and it's 6 foot long and 4 foot wide, and it's going to be a couch by day and a bed by night, what do I use as a mattress? Hygiene is really important, especially if I'm away working. You know, you can't get on stage to present if you stink and you haven't washed for a few days. So I've got a solar shower, and my idea is that I could lift the tailgate up, hang the solar shower on the tailgate, and then make like a shower cubicle by using a shower curtain stuck onto the tailgate itself with magnets. And that should give me enough opportunity to shower in private, not scare people, and stay clean. Now when it comes to lighting, the back of the van isn't particularly dark because it's not very big, but it's not light enough to read. Right now the tailgate's closed, this door's closed, and this door's almost closed because it's windy and raining out. And it's not pitch black, so I don't think I need lighting as such, but I will need light, and probably a fixed light rather than just trying to rely on a torch hung up on the ceiling. Now I have used these before in my last van. These are quite useful. I don't know if you can focus. There you go. So it's just like a little light switch, LED lights turned on, and there's enough there to illuminate inside the van. They're attached by little magnets or those kind of screwy clips where you put a screw in and hook them on, and it's just a light switch, and they're actually quite useful, and they're not expensive, kind of 4 or 5 quid, and you can pick these up all over the place. If I can find a link, I'll drop a link below. I think I will put a rug of some kind on the floor because, you know, I do like to sit like this, and it just makes it more comfortable and feels warmer and softer for the dogs, and you know, I like rugs. There are cleats on the floor and kind of these fastening points on the wall on both sides, which would be useful for securing kit, for bikes and stuff, and also so that I can quickly carabiner off a dog if I need to have the doors open and the dog secure. That's a great way of doing it. You know, just clip a carabiner in there and onto the dog lead. I'd like somewhere to secure and transport my fishing rods. When I fish, I often fish with some really old split cane stuff, and I'd like a way that I can travel with them safely and securely, but also keep them out of the way when I'm moving other kit around, or if a dog or the dogs are in here being a bit hyperactive, which is most of the time, they don't kind of end up getting broken by waggy tails. You know, I'm really looking forward to getting this van done, and of all of the things that I'm going to use it for, probably the thing that I'm looking forward to most is when I've been off training in the mountains and I've got one of my Caramel SF packs on and I've got a nose down, bum up. I'm really going forward to get some training and ready for an expedition. To be able to come back into this lovely warm atmosphere after, you know, 10 hours of beasting myself and have a hot brew and maybe even a meal, that's going to be awesome. So I think, unless I come up with anything else, that's about it. So you should now have quite a good overview of what I'm trying to achieve. If you think I'm on track, give me a thumbs up. If you think I'm way off or there's ways of doing things better, then please do let me know, right? So many times I've done stuff, and after I've done it, people have said, oh, there's a much better way of doing that. It's a lot easier, a lot cheaper, a lot more effective, whatever. That's what I'm trying to kind of preempt and avoid by putting out this video. So please, don't be shy. drop a comment and let me know. So that's me done for this video anyway. So I'm off to scratch my head a bit more, look at it a lot more, watch some more van conversion videos, do a bit more research, price things up, find any other excuse I can to procrastinate, and then once I've got some responses on this video, I'll probably make a start. Whatever you're doing, be good, be brilliant, be awesome, and remember, if I can help you in any way, get in touch, let's have a conversation and make good stuff happen. See ya.